Hello everybody and welcome back. This is JudiciousFire. I'm on iOS. We're coming to the end of a server day, and I wanted to just talk briefly on a subject that seems to be near and dear to many players' hearts. Let's check the Guild Hub. We just finished up Guild Wars. I put a Guild Wars video up just before this one, showing the run and gun technique if you're interested. The subject of today's video is going to be just a brief discussion about might gains in this game of Castle Clash. Thought I would discuss this before the server day came to an end. I'm currently sitting at rank 1, but I have a feeling, knowing those who are also playing this game, that will again change tomorrow. I want you to know, in terms of the leaderboard, this is consistently and constantly in a state of flux, a state of change. I wanted to achieve a couple of things in this game, and none of them had to do with might. I'm a completionist. I wanted one of every hero. I wanted a strong, healthy account where I could engage in all of the game modes. By wanting a strong account, by wanting to complete all of the various stages and steps in this game, the natural result was having high might. I've never been a person who chases might simply for that might gain. It's really just a result of trying to upgrade and level up my heroes and make them as strong as they can be. So might has never been a major focus of mine, but I have certainly looked at might and studied it in detail. I try always, while the leaderboard shows 720 exactly, it's 725 right now, I try always to land on an even number, and part of that has to do with just learning about might and the might gains that are available through certain upgrades or steps along the way. There has been a big change in Castle Clash. Right now, we have something called the breakthrough system. And what this means is whoever buys the most number of igniting stones and zenith stones and this, that, and the other thing is going to be adding a tremendous amount of might. This is why when you look at the leaderboard, there are a lot of names of people who are maybe at level rank 200 just 2 weeks ago. And through making a lot of purchases, these players have shot up in might. I say more power to you. I think that's fantastic. I'll go as far as to say, although it might be a controversial thing to say, I'm thrilled that newer players, that over the last couple of weeks, people have come into this game, they've put money into this game, and they are now near the top of the leaderboards. And I'm very, very supportive of that. It gives this game a new life. It gives it a new influx of players. It helps to keep this game going. We are at the 5th year, 5.5 years now in Castle Clash. Without that influx of new players and without IGG getting the funds to keep this game going, then Castle Clash would slowly be coming to an end. So it is a great thing to see new players. I thought about might over the last couple of years. This probably goes back 3 to 4 years now. I used to look at the might leaderboards and think to myself, oh my gosh, how on earth could I ever get there? I mean, I've got to have, I think at the time, maybe 120 was about as high as it went. I remember when it was, people were up to the 200s. I thought, oh, this is impossible. It was a long climb to the top, and part of that has to do with just learning about might. I have thought many times over the years of the following scenario. Okay, I'm going to give you the formula on how to have the highest might in the game, and also to completely destroy everybody else in terms of their might value. If the highest right now on today's leaderboard is 720, Here's the formula to get yourself 1.1 million might, and to do so in a matter of days. Right now, the max might is 1.1 million. That is because of the breakthrough system. Now, this goes back to my initial thoughts on might. The highest might hero in the game is Ronin. And let's go to Ronin. Ronin, it's based on foot speed. You see his foot speed is 400. Skull Knight also has that same foot speed, but I have found that Ronin is more upgradable. They not only have his skins, at least I do, I chose Ronin, but he also has a few more upgrades that you can give than to a Skull Knight. So I've found that Ronin is the highest might legend to have. It goes back about maybe 3 years ago. I was thinking, the number one player in terms of might, this would be a person who just did the following. Okay, follow me on this. This is what you would do. Let's say you were interested in starting a Castle Clash account, and you wanted to be the top might person in a week's time. This is what you do. You start the game. You don't worry about anything. Okay? You don't have to upgrade buildings. Forget it. What you do is you get yourself, I don't know. Let's see what you'd need. You'd need probably a couple of $1,000. In today's game, the deals are incredible. What they offer in the bazaar, it is extreme to say the least. Back in the day, it was $400 for a Revite 5. Okay? These days, they're giving that stuff out. Today is a good day to get started. You get started with a brand new account. Let's say you've got several $1,000s you don't mind spending on a Castle Clash. First thing you do is you go into the bazaar. Okay, look at this value pack too. There's 100 Levanica Soulstones. You buy this twice. You've spent $100. Now you've got a lava. He's your first hero. You spend the $100 in gems rolling for the following heroes. Or you flat out buy them in the bazaar for $10. You get yourself a Pumpkin Duke. You get yourself an Anubis. You get yourself a Cupid. You get yourself a Michael. If you want to make a few more purchases and get yourself a Minotaur, that's perfectly fine. You can do without. You throw somebody else in there. Sasquatch, Rockno, heck, even Walla Walla. Any of these guys, okay? You make that 6-person dungeon team. That's what you're trying to do first. That's day one, getting 6 heroes. All the other spaces in your altar you leave blank, empty. Then spend the rest of your gems on upgrading your buildings, enough that you simply get a 6th hero base. You're not trying to hold 5 million gold. You're not trying to have enough for evolution. None of that. Forget it. Just get yourself a 6 hero base. Use gems to speed that along. Now you have 6 heroes that are upgraded, that are at their peak performance. Again, you go right to this bazaar. You spend, I don't know, another $50, and you get enough that you can get all your heroes upgraded in destiny and skill, blah, blah, blah. Those 6 heroes, you go into the dungeons. This game restricts your ability to evolve and double evolve your heroes. They restrict it based on flames. The most you can get is 840. I think it's something around 540 to evolve or double evolve your heroes. You have to get those number of flames. That's why you've only opened 6 heroes, and you've created the Uber dungeon team. Those 6 heroes that you've maxed out. You race your way through the dungeons. You can do this. You're going to need some spells. You go over to the spell building. Where's the spell building? Where's my spell building? Go to these spells, and you use some gems, and you get these spells upgraded. You only need 4. The 4 that I have in the queue, right at the top. All the other ones, forget them. Those 4 spells. 6 heroes in a dungeon team. And you send them into the dungeons, and within... I'm going to say, if you're willing to use gems to refresh your dungeon tries, you could beat all of the dungeons in an hour. If you've got a Levanica and a maxed out Pumpkin Duke, Anubis, Michael, Cupid, and a bonus 6th hero. Now all of a sudden, you've got your 840 flames. Can be done very, very quickly. I've always said it. I'll say it again. You go to your guild turf. You get a Moxie flag. Get that Moxie flag going. Give yourself a damage reduction, 20% damage reduction in the dungeons. So you're done with dungeons in one night. You've now got your 6-hero dungeon team sitting there in your altar. No other heroes are open. Now all of a sudden you go on a Ronin collection process. And you get as many Ronins as you possibly can. Buy them in the bazaar, probably $1 a piece, part of a $10 pack. Roll for them, get them through events, etc. What you want to do is, and we currently have, where are we? We have 100 spaces in the altar as of today. What you want to do is you want to fill all of the remaining slots in the altar with Ronins. You're going to want to fill 94 remaining slots with Ronins. All right. That and your 6-person dungeon team. You now have 100 heroes. You're at max slots in your altar. You want to upgrade every one of those Ronins to max, with the exception of the 96th Ronin. You want to leave his skill level at 1. All the other ones you can take to Destiny 12, no problem. But you leave the last Ronin, the 96th Ronin, at skill level 1. Once you have fully maxed the other 95, you take that 96th Ronin at skill level 1, and you feed him. You feed him your 6-person dungeon team. It's going to hurt, because you just spent the last day and a couple $100 making that dungeon team. But now you feed all 6 of those heroes to that Ronin. That Ronin, let's say, goes up to skill level 3 or 4. All right, good. Now, all of a sudden, you have 6 empty spaces. You finish that 96 Ronin, take him to Destiny 12, then fill in those last 6 spaces with Ronins. You max those out. You now have an altar filled with 100 fully maxed out Ronins. Thought about this a couple of years back. I thought, hypothetically, theoretically, the number 1 player in terms of might would not be able to play this game. You would have an entire altar filled with maxed out Ronins, and because you're only able to use 1 hero in every game mode, you would not be able to play this game. That would be the downside. But the upside is this. You would have a might level, a might value, that absolutely destroys everybody else. If you were willing to take the time, if you were of the persuasion to do this, if you're willing to now spend, I think it's a lot of money for Breakthrough. If you're willing to do that, and you're willing to put 100 Ronins in your altar, you will put up a number on the leaderboard of about 1.1 million. That would be 400,000 approximately ahead of anybody else. You would put up a number that's so high that nobody could touch you unless they are willing to do the same as you and fill your altar completely with Ronins. Again, you're not able to play the game, but it always irked me. You are able to get max might. And by doing so, you are able to put up a number that nobody can touch. It's one of those drop the mic moments, okay? While you can't play, you have certainly forever etched your might value into this game. This is a flawed system, okay? The topic is not just might. The topic is who's the best player, okay? I think that might. Server just reset. I'm now in rank 2. Do you see? This is the topic for today. Do you see how quickly it changed? Now my main man Tit, who is a legend. Okay, I'm thrilled to be in second place behind Tit. He has now jumped ahead by 1,600 in 536 might. So it changes daily. I really think that the might system, while it has opened up the game to a lot of new players, and I'm thrilled about that. Okay, if you've got a 1-week-old account and you're at 700,000 might, good for you. Please, I hope there's more people out there like you that keep this game fresh. If it were up to me, if I could control how Castle Clash ranks its players, I would do the following. Okay? I would, instead of using might value, instead of using this might value, which quite frankly has more to do with your ability to upgrade rather than your skill in this game. If it were up to me, I would use the current events that we have in this game, and I would use a basic scoring system. Best case scenario, let's take a look at the different events in this game. Okay, we don't rank hero trials, we do rank Here Be Monsters. Okay, right now, the person in number 1 on the most difficult HBM AJ is Slothy. He's got an AJ3. Let's say that the competitive week in Castle Clash begins on a Monday, and it ends at server reset at the end of Sunday. In 1 week, every player competing in an event can earn points. Whoever has the most number of points at the end of the week becomes number 1 on the leaderboard. And those points continue to drop as you drop through the leaderboard. So we look at HBM AJ. If it was, and it is Sunday night, we just had a reset, Slothy, let's say for real easy math, would get 3 points. Minji would get 2 points. Supersonic would get 1 point. Okay? For doing well in those events. Do we track? We don't track that. We track Labyrinth. Okay, my horrific Labyrinth story. I told this in a prior video. I went all the way to Labyrinth number 39, and I was going to record the last 10 stages and fight all the goblins. I had all this stamina. I was doing great, and I fell asleep. Okay, well, I would not get any points. Tit, who is in rank 1 here, would get 3 points. Duck would get 2. Kanto would get 1 point. Let's get out of this Labyrinth. What do they track down here? Anything else they track down here? Let's see here. I mean, it's a horrific game mode, but Squad Showdown, I guess you could track that too. At least give it some relevance. Arena. Arena's getting refreshed right now. Whoever is number 1 that week in Arena gets 3 points. Second place gets 2. Third place gets 1. Lost Battlefield. Whoever got first place gets 3. Second place gets 2. Third place gets 1. Now, you can make this scoring system more complicated, certainly, but I'm just trying to get a point across. Just using easy numbers, easy math. Go to, what else do we track? Lost Battlefield, third place, 1 point. Second place, 2 points. First place, 3 points. Guild Wars. If your guild gets first place, everybody in the guild gets 3 points. Everybody who participated. If your guild gets second place, everybody who participated gets 2 points. If your guild gets third place, everybody who participated gets 1 point. Make Guild Wars relevant again. Fortress Feud. I just did a Fortress Feud battle today. Going to be posting that in a couple of minutes after this. We ended up taking second place. Where am I? Guild events. Fortress Feud. Okay, 87th overall. Okay, so we would get, everybody who participated would get 2 points. Okay, fantastic. At the end of the week, on a Sunday evening, or on whatever your time zone is, on a Sunday at server reset time, all of the points get calculated and tabulated. And then all of a sudden, the leaderboard is based on your skill and ability in this game, and not what I consider to be, I'm not going to go so far as to say an arbitrary number, but might is deceptive. It is not an indication of your skill or ability in this game. It is an indication of you accruing the upgrades, steps, processes, leveling up, completing tasks, completing all of the accoutrements that happen to be a part of Castle Clash. It is not indicative of your strength or skill as a player. I would love to see a change happen in terms of how we rank players. The rank should be based on your ability to do well in the various tracked game modes, the various game modes that have a leaderboard. At the end of the week, this leaderboard, instead of might, could be then reflective of player skill and player ability. Question is, who is the strongest player? Who is the mightiest player? Who is the best player in Castle Clash? Every week that would change. Every week people would have an incentive to participate in events in order to make, and we'll keep it easy, let's say a top 500 leaderboard. Okay, not going to 1 billion. All right, not a billion people, no. But a top 500 leaderboard. And your cumulative total through events would be more than enough to show, what do we got? Oh, I got one of these. Let's see if I get a Fennec. Sweet goodness, no. Boy, the drop rate on those is so horrific. I get this stuff. Okay, so just having a good look at Might, I want to say congratulations to Tit, who is doing a fantastic job. He is a great player. I've been able to message with him a couple of times. He trolled me a couple of days ago with Rosaline. I sent it right back at him. We have a lot of fun. I really appreciate his attitude, and I really appreciate him as a player. I see JT coming up. JT is one of the most skilled players in the game. While he does have extremely high might, if we switch to this system where different game modes gave out a variety of points and that leaderboard was more point-based, he would again be right up there at the top. Supersonic is always at the top of the leaderboards when it comes to these events. And when you look here, you see some of the best players in the game, some of the strongest players in the game. And I think it would be much better to evaluate players not based on an arbitrary might number, but more so based on their skill as a player. Just my 2 cents on this. Remember, there will be somebody out there, some kind of oil tycoon, who decides to max out all of his Ronins, all of his or her Ronins, and fill the 100-slot altar with all Ronins. And this person will eventually be at 1.1 million might. And then the next month, that player will be in second place because they will open up another slot in the altar, and another oil tycoon will come by and create 101 Ronins. So don't chase might, okay? Try to make a strong account. Try to have well-leveled heroes. Try to make heroes that are good at what they do. Find that 1 or 2 things that heroes do best and feed that. Don't make jack of all trades. Don't make well-balanced heroes. Find what they do well and feed that. Make them even better at their particular skill. I'm going to be resetting pretty soon. I'm going to be, you know what? Let's just run a quick Here Be Monsters. Guild Wars is over, so I don't mind losing all my Guardians. My gosh, that Dove Keeper. I'm learning more about HBM AJ. I've been doing a lot of research. I'm going to be doing an HBM AJ video very, very soon. I am not set up for HBM AJ. I learned a little bit about setups. I've been talking to different players. I've been researching online. The current base style that I have and the way my heroes are laid out, they are not conducive to HBM AJ. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of change. Let me quick get in let's try Ares. I should be able to take him out. Yeah, he's done. 63 gems. Oh my gosh, big time. Lady Leo, she might wreck my buildings. Well, we just made it. That's real nice. Okay, this is JudiciousFire. I'm going to be logging out. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a great start to your Monday, and I'll catch you on the next video. All right, bye-bye.